Hey guys, it's Shy of the Shy Narwhal. In case somehow you haven't figured this out yet, I like covering pieces of media or pieces of my childhood that are either lost or more obscure. However, two things that I haven't covered much on this channel are old internet trends from my childhood as well as discontinued snacks and candies from my childhood, which are both major things that I experienced growing up. 2 years ago, I made a video covering Oreo cakesters and the fond memories I had of those when I was young. Oh yeah, by the way, speaking of those, in case you missed it, those are hitting store shelves again come January, so yeah, that's cool. Over the 2 years that I posted that video, I've gotten quite a few requests to cover other snack items from that time period that have also been discontinued. I originally had plans to cover multiple food items in these videos because oftentimes when a snack item gets discontinued, there isn't really a reason behind it or there isn't really a cool story, so I thought, oh, I can make a video covering 5 to 10 of these and it would make like a nice little YouTube video. But I started writing that video and I realized that one item on that list would have taken up like 3 pages of script, and so I thought, you know what, I should cover this in a separate video. The infamous item in question being the Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. And for whatever reason, while I was researching for the original draft for this video, I got really invested into why these were a thing and the effects it had on those who consumed them. So yeah, for this week's video, I'll be going over the brief history of the Haribo sugar-free gummy bears. Let's get into it. Haribo is a German candy company that was founded just over 100 years ago on December 13th, 1920, and is probably most famous for their classic gummy bear confections. The idea of the gummy bear came from seeing the trained bear street performers that were popular throughout the early 19th century. The gummies were called Tanzbar, which is roughly translated into dancing bear. As the years went on, these gummies eventually became smaller in size and began being known as gummy bears, and they were only made in the gold color. And it wasn't until 1967 that they began creating the multicolored bears that we know today. And years later, Haribo released the sugar-free alternative to their classic treat. The infamous sugar-free alternative to their classic treat. You see, similar to many sugar-free alternatives, the bears contain an ingredient called lycosine, which, if consumed too much of, can cause some unpleasant side effects. The runs. It gives you the runs. However, unlike most other sugar-free candies that you can purchase, the Haribo sugar-free gummy bears came with almost dangerously high amounts of lycosine, meaning that depending on the person, it really didn't take much to cause an upset stomach. The side effects became most notable through the most likely fake but still no less entertaining Amazon reviews. The page is no longer available, but there are still plenty of screenshots of reviews that people have left over the years. I would like to take a moment to read one of my personal favorite reviews that was on Amazon back in the day. I'm putting a timestamp on screen right now for those of you who are either really grossed out or are mature and don't find toilet humor funny. Okay, let's read this. Oh man, words cannot express what happened to me after eating these. The gummy bear cleanse. If you are someone that can tolerate the sugar substitute, enjoy. If you are like the dozens of people who tried my order, run. First of all, for taste, I'd rate these a good 5. So good, soft, true to taste fruit flavors like the sugar variety. I was a happy camper. But, or should I say, but, not long after eating about 20 of these, all hell broke loose. I had a gastrointestinal experience like nothing I've ever imagined. Cramps, sweating, bloating beyond my worst nightmare. I've had food poisoning from bad shellfish that was almost like a skip in the park compared to what was going on inside me. Then came the flatulence. Heavens to Murgatroyd. The sounds, like trumpets calling demons back to hell. The stench, like 1,000 rotten corpses vomited. I couldn't stand to stay in one room for fear of succumbing to my own odors. What came out of me felt like someone tried to funnel Niagara Falls through a coffee straw. I swear, my sphincters were screaming. I'm gonna make sure that... Am I allowed to read this on YouTube? Am I allowed to read this on YouTube? I don't want to get demonetized. I don't know how sensitive YouTube is because I am newly monetized. I am a new channel. I don't want to get demonetized. Humorous for a nanosecond. And then it was just beyond anything I could imagine possible. And it went on for hours. I felt violated when it was over. which I think might have been sometime in the early morning of the next day. There was stuff coming out of me that I ate at my wedding in 2005. I had 5 pounds of these innocent looking, delicious tasting hell bears. So I told a friend about what happened to me, thinking it had to be some type of sensitivity I had to the sugar substitute. And in spite of my warnings and the graphic descriptions, she decided to take her chances and take them off my hands. Silly woman. All the same for her. And a phone call from her while in the toilet, because you kind of end up living in the bathroom for a spell, telling me she really wished she would have listened. I think she was crying. Her sister was skeptical that we were exaggerating. She took them to work, since there was still 99% of the 5-pound bag left. Just throw it away. Throw it away. There's 2 people who said that, like, even if it... She works for a construction company, where there are builders, roofers, house painters, landscapers, etc. Lots of people who generally have limited access to toilets in a given day. I can't imagine where all those poor men and women pooped that day. I keep envisioning men on roofs crossing their legs trying to decide if they can make it down the ladder or if they should just jump. If you order these, best of luck to you, and please don't post a video review during the aftershocks. Okay, listen. I don't find bathroom humor I don't usually find bathroom humor funny. I tend to get really grossed out easily, but there's something about these reviews that just gets me, and I don't know what it is. I think it's how long and detailed they are, and just the lengths they go to describe the pain that they're in is just really funny to me. Like, here's the thing, these reviews are long. I was originally going to read 2 or 3 of them for this video to kind of give people a general sense of why these candies, I guess, went viral online. But this review that I just read took up over a page of script, and they're all about the same length. If this is your first time hearing about these and you got a good laugh out of this review, I will put the link, I will put a link to more reviews that you can read down in the description because it's really entertaining. Okay, totally pointless tangent, but a couple years ago my mom went sugar-free, like meaning she just stopped eating sugar, cane sugar altogether. Meaning that she had to buy a lot of sugar-free alternatives to the treats and desserts that she used to enjoy. And near the beginning of this, because of these reviews, I would avoid every sugar-free candy like the plague. I was terrified. These reviews scared me so badly back in the day that whenever my mom would offer me like one of her sugar-free candies or cookies, I would go on this long rant about how she's gonna get sick if she eats more than like 2. I'm a very anxious person, in case you haven't figured that out yet. Although the package warns consumers of the potentially dangerous side effects, people ignored it and decided to make a challenge of how many they can eat in one sitting, because the internet sucks. The Haribo sugar-free gummy bears were discontinued in 2014, and if you want to buy a package of the brand name gummy bears, they cost about like $100+ on Amazon. Although why you'd want to buy some discontinued gummy bears from like 7 years ago, I don't know, but they're there, they're available. And the reviews are all gone. They're no longer readable on the official page. So if you want to read reviews, you have to go to like some website that has some screenshots of it and you'll get a good laugh out of it. While the Amazon reviews first went viral around 2014-ish, it feels like every couple years or so, they come back for a brief period of time and then people forget about them all over again. Like, the most recent resurgence of these was 2 years ago, I think. Like, randomly people started talking about these again and it's very strange. I guess that's kind of how most things work on the internet, but it was still weird to like see people start to talk about sugar-free gummy bears again as if it's a new thing when in reality it was like almost a decade ago. But yeah, do you remember these Amazon reviews at all? Do you find them funny or gross? Feel free to discuss it down in the comments below. I don't know what this video is. Like I said, I originally started off wanting to cover discontinued food items in my normal list format, like in a more serious kind of put together format. And like originally the list video that I was working on, which by the way, I'm still working on it, I'm still writing it. Originally it was gonna be 6 items, and then I started writing about the sugar-free gummy bears. Then it turned into like 3 items. And then I realized that this section was like nearly 4 pages long, and I needed to get this video out this week. So I shortened it to just this one like section. So if you enjoyed this odd video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on lost and obscure media, as well as more of whatever this was. And yeah, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!